So much, Sam, for joining us. How are you doing? Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving to you too, Regina. Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Oh, absolutely. And thank you for taking time out of your holiday to break down what we saw yesterday. We saw emotions running high outside of the courtroom and the reaction on the defendants' faces when they were all really accused and found guilty of murder. So as a former prosecuting attorney, what was your initial reaction to the verdict right off the bat, Sam?
Well, my reaction was that the prosecutor did a phenomenal job presenting the evidence. And frankly, the jury arrived at the right verdict, in my opinion, based upon what I saw in terms of the evidence. It was a controversial case. There was a lot of emotion riding on it, understandably so.
Important to mention that Greg McMichael and William Bryan were not guilty of malice murder. So when it comes to the difference between malice murder and felony murder, what is that difference?
Well, starting off with this, malice murder is basically intentional murder. It doesn't actually require motive or premeditation. All it is basically intending to kill somebody and doing it. With felony murder, different than malice murder, you just have to participate in the crime that's occurring and somebody dies. You don't actually have to be the one to kill them. You don't actually have to have intent for someone to die.
Yeah, and when it comes to emotions there in the courtroom, Sam, I want to point out something that happened during the reading or after the reading of the verdict immediately. There was an outburst in the courtroom, and that person actually had to be escorted out. Do you feel that that was a very normal and immediate reaction to a verdict and a case of this intensity and really national attention?
Look, I mean, there's so much riding on this. It's not just this case, right? It stands for something. It stands for something for a lot of people. A lot of people see this as, equality under the law and how we're perceived and how we're treated. We talk about freedoms in this country and we talk about, all the rights that we're given. Well, if a man can't jog down the street, that's a real problem. And a lot of people are looking at that and saying, it's because of the color of his skin